All right, buckle up, because what starts as a routine visit to a public library quickly spirals into a full-blown constitutional showdown. On one side, we have a calm auditor exercising his First Amendment rights, filming government employees at work. On the other, security and officers are flexing authority, citing policies, but not laws. Watch closely, because what seems simple quickly exposes contradictions, confusion, and the delicate balance between policy enforcement and constitutional rights. This is not just about recording. This is about freedom, oversight, and who really holds power in public spaces.
See, because if you violate my rights, you can't say that you didn't know.
That's our job.
It's no negotiation.
So you could just ask anybody to leave a public building just because.
Yes.
They want you.
They
What
said
if I was?
they're filing complaints from every staff member on every single floor that you're recording them and you're being a nuisance, and you're not allowed to do that inside
How
the
am I
library.
being a nuisance?
You have to leave.
How am I being a
You are
nuisance?
recording them, and you are not allowed to do that inside.
So photography
yes
is
or
a
no?
nuisance?
Sir,
Can I speak to your supervisor, please?
They can't record in here, right? You willing to? Nope. All right.
Read this. Handheld cameras are permitted.
Listen.
First
you
line.
have to
Handheld
leave.
cameras are permitted. This is their rules.
You have to.
Why?
Why? Because you are not allowed.
What crime am I committing?
You're not part of any media. You did not have prior permission to record in here. You now have to leave.
I do have
you
permission.
Step out civilly.
I want
or
to speak
you
to your
wanna make this-
supervisor.
No problem. He's going to tell
Call
you
him.
the same thing.
No,
I'm
he's not.
Gonna tell you.
He's going to honor his oath to the Constitution.
Let's make a bet.
I don't want to deal with you because I already got you on camera.
Go ahead.
Cursing me out, so I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you.
I want you to respond here.
Why are you asking me to leave a public place I have a right to
They
be?
want you to leave, so you gotta leave.
Okay, what if they wanted me to smack myself? I gotta smack myself?
No, that's different.
Right. I have a right to be here just like everybody else. I'm not being disorderly.
Pause here for a moment. Notice the first red flag. The officers are citing policies instead of laws. Policies guide internal operations. They don't override the Constitution. Yet they insist the auditor must leave. Handheld cameras are explicitly permitted, but authority figures ignore it. This is a classic case of selective enforcement, using ambiguity and personal power to control a situation instead of applying clear legal standards. Ask yourself, would you stand your ground if confronted with authority citing rules that contradict the law?
Walking around peacefully recording. The public workers.
Listen, my lieutenant's on
Can
the
I record you? Can I record you? So why can't I record the city workers?
They're not city workers.
They work. New York is funded.
They're security guards.
The public library is funded by tax dollars.
You can record me all you want.
I can record government workers in the course of their duty. Read case law. You need to read case law because you enforce the law.
My job right now
Do
is
your
to
job.
exit you out of this building.
Why? What crime did I
Because They
commit?
don't want you in here.
Why would they ask me to
You're
leave?
being disorderly. You're being
How?
a nuisance. And now you have other people watching.
How am I being a nuisance? How?
You were
By
refusing
simply
to
recording?
leave. They asked you to stop recording.
They never
multiple
asked me to leave.
times.
They never asked me
Really?
to leave.
Because I can ask him and he can say the opposite.
I have on camera. Have you guys ever asked me to leave since I've been here? Have you asked me to leave? Have you asked me to leave since I've been here? Nope. First thing they said when I came in the building was you can record.
Listen, you can hang out here, wait. You don't
I'm going to wait for your supervisor.
My lieutenant's going to be here.
Why not
okay?
honor your oath? Why not protect my
I'm
rights?
honoring my oath.
I'm in a
These
public building.
These nice men called me here, and they called us to escort you out of this building, and that's as far
Why
as I'm
would you-
concerned with
why would
today.
you escort me
We
out
don't
the
need to
building?
Continue any more conversation.
You escort me out if
You
I'm
want-
being disorderly, if I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be, if I'm impeding
They said that
business.
they said you were not.
Now, watch how frustration escalates. The auditor calmly quotes the posted rules. Handheld cameras are permitted. Yet the officers double down, insisting he leave. This is ego enforcement, not law enforcement. Policies are not laws, and discomfort doesn't justify removing someone from a public building. Imagine being told your rights don't matter because someone feels uneasy. Who do you think is in the wrong here? The auditor exercising his rights, or the officers hiding behind policy? Let's debate in the comments. This is exactly where constitutional literacy meets real-world enforcement.
You work for me.
I also work for them,
You work for
so
me.
you understand that, right?
And they're not exercising their rights. I am.
Yeah. No,
Peacefully.
They are peacefully asking us to escort you out.
For what crime?
You're not allowed to record in here.
He just said I was. And it says right here on their policies.
Because he
Read their
He
policies.
actually just said you weren't allowed to record in
He
here.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Listen, he's the head security guard
Read-
as far as I'm
read the
concerned.
policy.
And we were asked to escort you
Read
out.
their policy.
I don't need to read their policy.
So I'm not
I don't
violating their
abide by
policy,
the
so why would you ask me to leave?
I abide by what the security
And I'm not
guards
breaking
say.
the law.
Listen, this is a civil matter, and
I don't want to talk to you no more because this is retaliation. You're trying to retaliate against
Retaliate
me
for what?
because I recorded you before. So
I don't remember you ever.
I remember you. I remember you. You work at Midtown South, right?
It's on my press bar.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that. I already know.
It's right here.
If I was somewhere I'm not supposed to be, if I was cursing people out, if I was being disorderly,
Listen, I'm just here to escort
every
you
time I
out of
talk,
the
you
ass.
cut me off.
Listen, like you said, you
Me
don't wanna
simply
speak, then don't
recording,
speak.
me recording is not a disorder. Is not a disturbance.
You're being a disturbance to these people. They
How?
asked you to leave. I don't know.
Because they don't like what I'm
all
doing.
day.
What if they didn't like my shirt?
really-
What if they didn't like my religion? They're gonna
Why
escort
is
me
your
out of a
religion
public
getting
building?
involved? This is
Because
just about
it's
you
a
recording
right.
inside
It's
the
called,
library.
it's called freedom of religion. So if I was praying.
Here's where it gets intense. The auditor raises the slippery slope. If discomfort can justify removal, what about religion, speech, or beliefs? This is not a tangent. It's a legal and philosophical wake-up call. Officers can't answer because deep down, they know the logic is unassailable. The moment proves how easily subjective feelings can threaten constitutional protections. It's a brilliant way to force authority to confront the implications of arbitrary enforcement. Imagine if every public worker could dictate rights based on comfort alone. Chaos, right?
Leaving here right now is my lieutenant tells me you can stay.
Why wouldn't I be able to stay? I'm not being disorderly. All I'm doing is walking around quietly recording the New York City public workers, which I have a right to do. I can record the government while you're at work.
You'll see what my lieutenant says, okay? How about that? Deal? And then
Sure, that's why I asked for him.
And if you're good to stay, then I'll leave.
The
No problem.
Constitution and the law says I'm okay.
Constitution has
What
nothing
you
to do
swore an
with
oath
this
to do.
library. No.
What does the Constitution have to do with?
Business.
Does the Constitution have to do with your job?
Oh. This is.
Does the
maybe it's
Constitution have to do with your
This
job?
has nothing to do with the Constitution. This
It
is
does for
just
me.
us asking
It does
you to
for
leave
me.
Because they said you're being disorderly, and they're not comfortable with you recording
you
inside
wanna-
here, and they said that you're not allowed to record inside here. We don't
Read
have
their
to.
policies. Read it. Read the first line. Read the first bulletin.
They just gave this to me. That last bullet point says
Let me
no
see.
photographs of the staff, other researchers, or certain reading rooms may be taken.
That's what
Okay,
they're
they work for the
about.
government. There's case law that I can
doesn't
record
matter.
them.
It doesn't
part of their
matter.
policy,
That's what we're
and they
here
don't
to
wanna be
explain to you.
recorded.
They said that the staff members don't want you recording.
Okay, I'm still not committing a crime. I have a right to be in a public
And they
building.
have the right to escort you out.
Why would they do that if I'm conducting business?
But you're not anymore. They're asking you to
I
stop.
am though, because I still have to
If you
file
wanna stay in
complaints.
this- if you wanna stay in
I
this
still have to
private
file
time, you have to
complaints.
stop, though.
I still have to
not-
file complaints, and I still have to do a FOIA request.
You want
And I still want to pray before I leave.
Boom. Listen to this. The auditor asks if the Constitution applies to the officer's duties, and the officer says, this has nothing to do with the Constitution. Think about that. A sworn NYPD officer admitting on record that constitutional authority doesn't guide his actions. That's chilling. Without constitutional grounding, enforcement becomes personal preference under the color of law. This is a textbook example of why civil oversight matters and why knowing your rights is crucial. Remember, every camera, every citizen recording is a check on potential overreach.
Wait right now? Because we'll walk down.
Yeah, I'm
with you.
going
Come on.
there.
Thank you.
You put policy over law? Since when? Fuck out of here. I recorded libraries in every 5 boroughs, all 5 boroughs. And it's not a problem because it's not against the law. You swore to protect my rights. You're supposed to come here and enforce the law, not their policy.
This floor? One more floor?
Am I being detained?
No, you're not in cuffs. No, you're not.
So I'm
You're
free.
being escorted down to the
So I'm
front
free.
floor. No, you
Am I
have
being
to leave.
detained?
You have to leave.
Am I
Being
detained for a
means-
crime?
Being detained means you're being stopped and you're under investigation.
Am I being detained for a crime?
I just explained to you, not being detained. You do
All right, then, so that means I'm
Are you
free,
listening
right?
to anything she's
You're not
I feel like she's
listening to
explaining things
Am I
clear to you,
detained
and you're
for a
like
crime?
doing the runaround.
Come on.
Am I detained?
By this point, the lieutenant is called, but reason is evaporating fast. Officers have proof, legal precedent, and even their own policies, and yet they cling to the catch-all of disorderly conduct. Sound official? Sure, but hollow in context. This is classic bureaucratic overreach. When authority faces legal clarity, they fall back on ambiguous charges to maintain control. Watch the contrast. The auditor remains calm and logical, while authority clings to hollow words. Audience, how often do we see this pattern outside libraries? Think about your own encounters with authority.
I have a constitutional right to record in public. It's called the First Amendment. It's called the First Amendment. You know what the Constitution is? The highest law of the land. You can't put a fucking library's policy over the Constitution. Are you crazy? You swore over to the Constitution. You didn't swear over to the library's policy. And if they deny me public services, I'm gonna sue them. If you violate my rights, I'm gonna sue you. You ain't swear over to the library's policy. You forgot what your oath is to? The Constitution. Smug ass. Took the oath for what? Where's your lieutenant at so I can speak to him?
He's on his way. He's on another job.
He probably has more pressing matters than somebody exercising their rights in a public building. Listen, what? Are you gonna honor your oath?
It is what it is. I'm
So what
honoring
is
my
it?
oath. They
No,
asked
it's
me to
not.
escort you out.
Let me ask you a
Right here,
question.
You violated their policy.
Let me
Yes
ask you
or
a
no?
question. Can you put that
Yes
policy
or
over the
no?
law?
Did you not violate their policy that's right here?
What's higher, that?
To wrap this up professionally, this encounter perfectly illustrates the tension between policy, personal authority, and constitutional rights. The auditor calmly exercises his First Amendment protections, citing case law and posted rules, while officers rely on vague policies and hollow charges. The lesson here is clear. Policies cannot override the Constitution, and knowledge of your rights is critical in public spaces. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom and police encounter breakdowns.